The best build for Harumasa is what we're going to be talking about today, and why you as a free-to-play, casual, or low-spending player should be building him. Because not only is he going to be one of the best DPS in the game, he is coming to you for absolutely free. If you didn't know already from the 1.4 live stream, he is going to your mailbox for absolutely free, and enough materials to get him to level 40, guys. So this is going to be absolutely huge for you, and you should be building him, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. So let's go ahead now and talk about the best absolute build for Harumasa. And if you enjoy videos like these, please, many of you are not subscribed to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, guys. Now let's go ahead and talk about kind of what Harumasa is going to be doing. Pause, guys, one more second. I do have to let you know that this content that you see here is all from the content creator beta server, so everything is subject to change up until release. So whenever the game releases, obviously that's how it'll be, but everything you see in today's video is from the content creator beta server that I have so graciously gotten into. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the video. First of all, guys, he's a lightning attack based unit. This means he should be used most of the time as a main DPS, but he also can be used really solidly as a sub DPS as well. But I'll get more into that pretty soon here, because his whole main shtick is laying down traps. And no, I'm not talking about Asaba from Fate Grand Order. I'm talking about he lays down actual traps on the ground, these little blue node things. Now, how do you get these blue node things? These blue node things are gotten by using a multitude of things. First of all, his skill, guys. After using his EX skill, he'll be placing down 6 of these nodes on the ground. You can also get some of these nodes by using chain attacks as well, meaning if you're using them in succession of after breaking an enemy shield, he will also be getting nodes from that too. And what are these nodes used for? These nodes are used for doing extra damage on enemies, meaning if you use a charged basic attack, you can actually target the enemy you want to hit with these nodes. You'll hold down the attack, hit one main target, and all of those nodes will converge on one enemy and do a pretty massive amount of damage. Now, that's not where the fun ends though, guys, because when he's using his basic attack, just normal basic attacks, you're actually going to be putting these prison charges on the enemies as well. This prison charge will allow you to use your dash attack. Dash attack is one of his most damaging things in his kit, guys. You consume 2 of these prison charges you have on the enemy to use one big dash attack. You can stack up to 8 of these. This means you can dash attack at the enemy up to 4 times. You can close very large distances with this attack. So this can be a very good way to get back into the battle, especially if you're quite far away. Maybe you're using someone like a Nicole. You use her ability, then you swap it back into him, and then he comes in, and then slash. So then he'll be absolutely destroying the enemy. As far as what his additional ability is going to be doing, guys, is it's going to be playing off whether you have a stunner on your team or an anomaly-based character on your team. So this means you can use them on teams with Lighter, and you can also use them on teams with Yanagi as well. You can use them on some of the best supports in the game. So his ability is a very big plus side, because you're not just conformed to using Section 6, you're not conformed to using electric typing, you're not conformed to any of that. Just 2 separate types of character, that being anomaly or stun, meaning you can run him as like a sub DPS on an anomaly-based team, or a main or sub DPS on like a crit-based team where he is just doing all the damage, right? And essentially what this is going to be doing, guys, is basically giving you 2 more stacks of lightning prison, which is immediately an extra free dash attack that you can use on the enemy. That's why I said he kind of works in scenarios where you're using him like as a quick swap or a sub DPS, because you break, go into him, use a quick little slash attack. These little nodes you have on the ground do stay on the field for quite a bit of time, so this also allows you to play him as a sub DPS, meaning you can get most of your DPS with your main DPS, swap back to him, hit that boom, really fast damage there, and then swap into your buffer, get the buffs back up for the team, and then rinse and repeat. So very good. Can be used as a sub DPS and can be used as a main DPS. And the final thing we have to touch on his kit, guys, is his core passive. This literally makes him so much more free to play friendly, because this is going to be giving him, first of all, increased crit rate whenever he's doing his dash attack. But not only that, guys, whenever he does hit a crit hit on an enemy with this dash attack, he will be getting 1 stack of Gleaming Edge, and he can get up to 3 of these stacks per skill up to 6 times. This means you can activate the skill 2 different times and get 2 different instances of this ability up, and then you can have a 6 stack maximum of this ability out. And I'm sure you've already read at the bottom of the core passive here, but basically each one of these stacks is going to be increasing the crit damage of these slashes by 12%. Now you do have to keep in mind, these only last for 5 seconds, so this is a very burst heavy type of core skill, meaning if you're not using your slash attacks, you're basically never going to have this up. So the main source of his damage, which is the slash attacks, you kind of want to go all in. But what you want to be doing with this, guys, is you want to be hitting skill, holding down charge attack, going in, rush, slash, hitting skill again, charging in, slash, and you want to keep rinsing and repeating on this, because at max stacks, you're getting up to 72% crit damage bonus on top of the additional 25% crit rate that you're getting. So he gives himself a lot of free stats, guys. You just have to make sure you're using him properly. The biggest thing that I can tell you about Harumasa, guys, is that if he is not doing damage for you, you are using him wrong. He is probably one of the best DPS in the game, but he has to be used correctly. Like, he has to be played correctly to get this damage out. He can't just be played willy-nilly because his damage numbers will drop a lot. So as long as you're playing him correctly, you're getting massive damage numbers out. So what does that mean? It's just a skill issue if you're not getting big damage with him. I mean, honestly. And as I've been touting him up to be this cool sub DPS or main DPS, let's go ahead and talk about some of his teams that he can work on now, because he can work in quite a few teams, which makes him amazing for free-to-play players and casual players, just because of the plethora of teams you can actually place him in. Like I said, guys, he works with both stunners or anomaly-based characters, meaning you can use him as a sub DPS on a Yanagi team. So if you have pulled Yanagi, he'll be buffing her up because he shares the same lightning type that she has. So that means she's getting the increased anomaly build up right there. These nodes are still staying on the ground, so while the disorder is not on the enemy, you can proc off damage with him. Swap back over to her to help get that shock built back up, so she's not losing any type of electric anomaly on the enemy at all. And you can also run this with like arena as well, so you're getting the extra pin ratio there. So overall, just turns out to be a really good combination that he can be ran on. Other teams he can be ran on though, you could run him on a completely free-to-play team like Nicole and Anby. That also works. You have a stunner on that team, so you're getting his additional ability, because hell yeah. And then also he's being used as a main DPS on this team. So if you didn't want to run someone like a Grace and an Anton, which is realistically the best free-to-play option that you're going to be using for a lightning-based team right now in the game, if you didn't have someone like Yanagi already, so he will be fitting that role really nice. And then finally, another team you can run him on. If you wanted to run him on a team with Bernice, I think this team could also pop the fuck off. With Caesar as well, of course, but Bernice will be proccing off those fire procs in the field. With her also being anomaly, you're also giving him his additional ability, which means you could actually get some disorder damage off with him, because she's constantly proccing that fire anomaly off on the enemy, while you're also going to be building up his own anomaly as well with the lightning type damage. Anyways, guys, that's really all I have to say about teams. Like I said, guys, for his teams, he is very versatile and you can use him in a lot of different scenarios. But with that being said, let's go ahead now and talk about his best in slot W engines and get on with the actual build itself. Guys, for his best in slot W engine, obviously his signature W engine is going to be his creme de la creme, his best W engine that you can use. Sorry, I used the word creme de la creme there. A car salesman told me that once when he was trying to sell me this car. I didn't. Why am I going? You don't care about the app. Let me just go on with the rest of the build. Number 2 though, guys, is going to be the Brimstone. Now the reason I recommend the Brimstone here, while it doesn't offer you any crit rate, crit damage, it only offers you attack percentage, you're actually getting a lot of mileage out of this, because you are going to be mainly using his basic attacks and dash attacks to do the majority of your damage, and that's how you build up the stacks on this thing, so you're getting additional attack on him. And you can build this up to max stack really fast, just because of how frequently you're using dash attacks and basic attack to build up everything that he needs to actually use in this kit to do the majority of his damage. So this is his second best in slot, but now let's go ahead and talk about the third best in slot, the more free play option. That's going to be Starlight Engine. Now the reason I recommend Starlight Engine here is because whenever you're using a dodge counter or a quick assist, guys, you'll be getting increased attack for 12 seconds. This is going to be huge. You can craft this thing for absolutely free, so you can get up to a 19.2% attack increase on top of the 25% attack increase you're getting just from the base stat it gives already. Like I said, he's using dash attacks a lot, he's quick assisting in a lot, he can be used as a sub DPS, so this could be an absolute banger option to use, especially if you don't have Brimstone, and if you don't want to go for his signature W engine, because you might just want to get miyabi's signature W engine, because she might just need that W engine. If you want more information on that, please go watch the Should You Summon video on miyabi I posted on the channel earlier this week. Anyways, now, that's all I have to say about W engines, guys. So, let's go ahead now and talk about his best in-slot disk drive part you've been waiting for. But if you made it to this part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and scam you real quick. Yeah, you might have been waiting for those disk drives. We'll talk about those disk drives right after I tell you to subscribe to the channel. You got scammed. I know. You probably did. Someone in the comment section last week, right here, wherever that I'm going to put that comment at, they got scammed as well. So, hit that subscribe button, please, gamers. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So, as far as his best in slot disk drives go, guys, I do think there is a the best option, and I think there is a really good, more usable option. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Most people are gonna recommend to use him on the 4-piece Thunder Metal set. Now, I think that is the best set you can run on him. I do think that is the most damaging set you can run on him, but there are alternative sets you can run, like the new Astral Voice set that we're getting in the game, that can be used on him as well, because this will be, first of all, increasing his attack at a 2-piece, and then on top of that, it'll also be increasing every single ally's damage by 8% up to 3 times whenever you launch a quick assist off. Thunder Metal is going to be really good because, first of all, it's increasing his electric damage, and then on top of that, it'll be increasing his attack if an enemy is shocked. Like I said, they have to be shocked, so it is very contingent on them being shocked. Overall, if you're running them on a team that can shock the enemy effectively, I do think this is the better set, and you can do more damage with this set. But if we're talking about ease of play and the more casual way of play, because you will be getting that 24% overall increase just to your damage in general, okay? So I do believe Astral Voice can be really good, especially since he will be really good with coming in with quick assist and stuff like that. So to make it simple for casual players, guys, if you're running him on a team with like Nicole and Anby, I definitely would be recommending Astral Voice there, because you will pretty much have an infinite uptime on this ability, and you can quickly get into this using Nicole's skill, because Nicole will activate his quick assist. If you're using him on a team with Arena, I think Thunder Metal will be better. That's how I'm going to put it there. Now let's talk about those two-piece sets. Now, general overview of a two-piece set, guys, I do think you can use just about anything here. I think Swing Jazz will be effective in getting his EX skill back up, meaning you're able to put more nodes on the ground more often, meaning you're able to hit enemies with those nodes more often. I think Thunder Metal could be effective because all you're doing is basically electric damage anyways, so you're getting an extra increase to electric damage. If you cannot reach his crit threshold though, I do think Woodpecker is going to be the best. Woodpecker will give you that increased crit rate, so that added two-piece is going to be really, really nice. And if you're able to hit that crit rate, if you need a crit damage per se, maybe, I don't know, if you've been able to hit that crit rate threshold, I think Branch and Blade will be really effective here, because it'll be giving you your increase to crit damage by 16%, which is really, really nice. But like I said, only recommend this if you're able to hit the crit rate threshold. Overall, I do think two-piece Woodpecker Electro is probably going to be the best in slot for him, and then you go down from there. I'd probably say Swing Jazz, Thunder Metal, and then probably Branch and Blade after that. So that's really all I have to recommend as far as disk drive sets go. Now, what I want to talk about: stats. What stats are you wanting to get on your Harumasa? Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. On that 4-piece, you're going to be wanting to get crit rate or crit damage. On that 5-piece, you're going to be wanting to get electric damage percentage or attack percentage, whatever one you can get. Electric damage, obviously, a little bit better. Number 6 is going to be attack percentage as well. He is going to be built just like any other crit-based DPS is built. So these are the main things that I'd be focusing on getting, guys. Now let's talk about those substats you should be aiming for: crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and pin ratio. Like I said, he's very much so a crit-oriented DPS. Everything will be on screen now, which you need to be getting as far as stats go for main and substats. So take this for what you will. Take a screenshot if you need to see what you need to build on him, and maybe you go ahead and start farming for these pieces already, especially if you're watching this before he actually comes out. Now to get into the bread and butter we talked about at the beginning of the video. Why should you as a free-to-play player be building Harumasa? Very easy, very simple, guys. Let's take a look at all of the current attack characters we have in the game right now. We have Anton, Billy, Korin, Elvin, Harumasa, Nekomata, Soldier 11, and Zhu Yuan. Obviously, this is not the Bible by any means, or, I mean, it's my Bible, but it might not be your Bible. But the really big thing here to note, guys, is look at where all of the other free-to-play DPS are placed at. They're all placed at the bottom here, Soldier 11 being the best of the bunch. We have the best lightning we have is Anton here. The other ones are both summonable units that are no longer in the game that you have no chance of getting. So if you've just started the game out and you wanted to get your free Harumasa, you're kind of left wanting more of a DPS. So having this DPS added into the game, it gives you another vertical, right? Most of the damage we have in the game right now is Anomaly. Anomaly is the top of the top. They are the best of the best. Having him be free to play, being a crit-based damage dealer, leaves so many options open. This also leaves it open for him to be used in the future on sub-DPS scenarios, which is super nice. Guys, he is probably going to place around tier with 0.5. He is going to be the best by far character you can build, and he is super universal. So that's why I recommend that you build him, guys. Because even if he becomes power crept as like a main DPS in the future, which he probably will be, you can still use him as sub-DPS in certain teams, considering he works well with stun characters and anomaly characters. That's that's 50% of the game he's basically working with, right? Is that 50%? Okay, maybe a little bit less than 50%, but you get the point, right? He helps with anomaly, he helps with stun, and he is going to be absolutely amazing. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video and you plan on building Harumasa up to the absolute pinnacle, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. That's the 3rd subscriber plug this video. And that's going to do it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.